Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devil Saturday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location, beautiful New Jersey. From the mountain view of the Garden State. Woo. All across the world, the globe. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live. On the Let's Go Devils Network. As the Devils take on the Washington Capitals tonight in D.C. Lots to go over. The past 36 hours has been such
brutal.
I feel like I was backstabbed. I feel like I was bait and switch.
You got
every word
cut off. Yeah.
I was trying to avoid that, but yeah.
You know, I wonder how bad it was. He's going to be out for 8 weeks. He must have severed a tendon or done something pretty gnarly to his hand. Supposedly, so for those of you that don't know, and if you're listening to this podcast, 99% of you probably already do know this, but Jack Hughes is out 8 weeks with a freak accident. Things happen, but of course, it couldn't have happened to Andre Palat. It has to happen to Jack Hughes. I'm just kidding. I don't wish anything on anybody. I don't wish ill on anybody. Like, I don't wish ill on Andre Palat, but it is just satire. One of the things.
It's just satire. You know.
It's satire. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Yes.
But I will say, you know, I read the news. I was like, you got to be kidding. And I was hoping, okay, maybe it's a superficial wound. They have to get stitches. Maybe he'll be out for a week. And then we get the news today that he's out for 8 weeks. And my first initial reaction is something that I cannot repeat on air, but it was not kind. A lot of cussing in that one. But then all of a sudden I had this epiphany, and this is an epiphany that's not original because there's a lot of people out there that are having the same kind of idea or this thought process that maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Like maybe that this has happened. Fitzgerald will take a look at the team and be like, okay, well, you know what? Now I have to be a little bit more proactive, and I can't just wait until the trade deadline. And maybe this is going to push him to go get an O'Reilly or a Coy, somebody, get a body in the lineup, or somebody that's going to be of some kind of impact, like a very strong impact. The only problem is like you have to think about like, well, what is going to, what's it going to take for the Devils to be able to make these moves? They have a lot of defensemen in the system that they could definitely offer up between Edwards and Casey and the defensemen that they have out in Russia. Like they have a lot of things that they could give up. One guy, Big Mike, please don't even make that offer to anybody. Don't try to give up Big Mike to any team, even though we have 2 years of Markstrom left. I don't want to see them try to give up on on at least him as a goalie prospect. You can possibly see Dawes floated out there, although Markstrom staying healthy is also a question mark. So, boy, oh boy, a lot to digest.
There's a lot of news outside of Jack Hughes as well. We'll definitely go over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that on the Woo Report and Morning Woo the past 24 hours, Beer Baron, and instead of focusing, now that I got my anger out, we all know what happened. Let's try to move forward to what we have. What you do have is some temporary cap space at the moment.
Yeah.
If he's going to be on the shelf, but you just got to be a little careful of that because you don't want to get caught up in February or January or whatever, where he's ready to come back, but you don't have the cap space to get him back or something like that. But also because the amount of offense that Jack Hughes provides, we've seen this before. Not so much a freak accident, but last season when Hughes went down, out for the season, you saw the team pull together. Now, it wasn't pretty, but they did get themselves into the playoffs. There were a lot of injuries, and they took Carolina 5 games. All right, it's not what you want, but they got into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So right now, I like your thought, and I'm having the same thoughts as well, that now Fitzy is really going to be hitting the phones because they need a centerman. They need a centerman with or without Jack Hughes, actually.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So maybe now is the time and try to figure things out later. What to do with Palat. Does Palat stay? Because you're going to have to move a contract if you're going to get an O'Reilly back or a Kyrou back or even Tage Thompson. You're going to have to move some kind of salary to make it happen, and you entice the trade with draft picks and prospects potentially.
Yeah. Can I just interject for a second on that too? And I was just thinking about this as we're talking about it. The only thing that sucks is that the Devils are at such a disadvantage at the moment because any team that's going to trade with them, they're going to have the upper hand. And what I mean by that is that, they know that the Devils are going to be desperate to fill that need. And they're going to take a look at the situation and be like, all right, well, we will take, I don't know, your best D prospect. Now, I will say that Nemec, especially after last game's Hattie, which, by the way, who called? I did say he was going to have a big game. I did call it. I feel like Nemec is now untouchable. And now he was already pretty much untouchable before that. And a lot of people were saying that over the summer his name was mentioned, even with teams like the Islanders, is a report that I read. But I would assume that his name is now off the books. Now, you have to circle the wagons back to what, like you said, what are you going to do with some of these bigger contracts? Mainly Dougie Hamilton and Andre Palat. Like, is there a way to move one or both? Is there a way to possibly make a deal where you're packaging a Palat with, unfortunately, a Seamus Casey? And I hate to do this because we always do this. Like, we always have to go through this, like, well, who's going to go? Who's going to go? Who's going to go? And the problem is, it's like, you have to give to get. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, I'll give you Andre Palat and you give me Darlene. Or you give me, I'll give you Andre Palat and you give me Connor McDavid. It's realistically, you have to look at it and be like, well, we're at a disadvantage because people know that we need this. So now we're going to have to overpay for something more than likely. And we're going to have to move pieces around just to make it fit. Because like you said, the cap relief is only for how long, right? And Jack is going to be evaluated.
And Beer Baron has frozen. Just to kind of reiterate, look at the video feed, Beer Baron. I see what Beer Baron's saying, and I'm reading some of the comments on the YouTube live right now. Just remember one thing. Everyone's saying that every team has leverage against the New Jersey Devils. So be it. Unless, and we've said this all the time on this podcast, winning solves everything. You just don't know how this team is going to react. Like tonight, maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we shall find out. We simply don't know yet. And what you don't know, are they going to be a 500 team? Are they going to be a winning team just like they have been? Or are they going in the tank? Now, if they go in the tank, of course, other teams are going to have a lot of leverage. But you got to be careful. But at the same time, can the Devils survive for the next 2.5 months without Jack Hughes? They proved it before last season. They were able to survive. They were able to get in the playoffs. So that's the big question mark. And this is why we played the games. I'm seeing the YouTube live chats right now. Sorry for technical difficulties. Don't know why Beer Baron is off air right now. If I were going to take a guess without looking at the text, he may have forgotten to, I don't know. Oh, his internet just went down. Okay. Well, that happens, Beer Baron. Don't worry about it. We'll laugh it off after the podcast. But right now, look, I think the Devils right now have to focus what's ahead of them, and that is the Washington Capitals tonight. And that's what they have to focus on. Seeing some of the comments, Dubs is like, you're going to have to overpay for a GM to take your big contracts off your book. So be it. So be it. Can you reunite Palat with Stamkos in Nashville? Could that happen? Or could Stamkos come to New Jersey? But again, you got to look at the cap. Money's everything in the salary cap era. Do you go after Jordan Kyrou? I mean, the St. Louis Blues are not doing very well. Tage Thompson in Buffalo. Do you go after him? Would you be willing to overpay? Dubs is like, Sam, they were terrible last season without Hughes. They were firmly in the playoffs already. They limped in. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think a lot of it had to do with Jacob Markstrom being out because it took some time for him to get back into the groove. Jake the Snake Allen, I thought down the stretch played very well. But again, you just don't know till you play these games. So I wouldn't exactly hit the panic button yet. But I would say to Tom Fitzgerald, get on the phone and keep dialing. Because you don't know what other teams might do at this point. But let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to remain optimistic here. But also I'm trying to be hopeful. Not too down. You still are 12-4-1 as of right now. What can the Devils do? You're going to have Timo Meier step it up. You're going to have Jesper Bratt step it up. Dawson Mercer as well. Shane Lachance, who makes his debut tonight, had a very good prospect tourney and also training camp as well, makes NHL debut. Also in other news, Cody Glass week to week. But Dougie Hamilton and downtown Connor Brown will resume practicing with the team starting on Monday, according to Amanda Stein, who put it out there during the Sheldon Keefe press conference earlier, about an hour and a half ago. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see here. Doesn't Tampa Bay have a bunch of injuries too? Is there way two teams could do a trade that helps one another? Anything is possible, R. Nunez. Anything is possible. Looking at the Instagram live, we see Papa John 4516, also known as Keith the Cop. Jack, 6 seasons, only finished 1 full. MASH unit Sam. I know. Let's try to remain hopeful. Don't hit the panic button. And also, I just want to clarify on the Woo Report. Again, I was reading articles, and I made this big stink about having a team dinner with bar stools and all that. I don't know if it comes to my attention. It just may happen to be Frank the Tank was there, coincidentally. Not that the team actually went out of the way to celebrate Frank the Tank's 50th birthday, because I read it somewhere. I forgot which publication. So, again, I want to clarify that. I actually don't know, so I apologize. But what I didn't like was, it was insinuating that, hey, they were having a team dinner and stuff. Look, I don't want any more distractions. I'm all for team bonding, team building, all that kind of stuff. It's just when you see and hear an injury coming from one of these team dinners, from all accounts, it seemed like it was an innocent accident, and that's all it is. But the bottom line, it doesn't matter if it's an accident or there was horseplay or whatnot. Jack Hughes is hurt. Feel bad for him. He's out for 2 months. I'm sure this is killing him as well. But we wish him a speedy recovery here on the Let's Go Devils podcast and Game Day Live and, all that. Max, I agree with you. I'm excited to see Lachance play. 6'4". Devils acquiring him via trade. Great prospect. Lagar. Or maybe there's a more French way of saying that, but Lagare. Whatever. That's how, I don't know. Amanda Stein kind of pronounced it. I'm like, whoa. You got the French-Canadian accent there. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. But this is what I do know. We got a game to play. And you got to focus on the game ahead of you. You got the Washington Capitals. This is a Metropolitan Division game. This is a 4-point game. There's no time right now to get mad. There's no time right now to get sad. You're still 12-4-1. Life moves on. Let Jack heal. Hopefully there's no complications. Hopefully Jack is well rested, energized, and more determined than ever when he does come back. But for the next 8 weeks, it takes a team to get through this. And that also includes you, the fans, as well. Max says it's Lagare. Did I pronounce it right? Lagare. All right, so Devils down under. I'm usually a half full kind of guy, glass half full kind of guy, but how is it supposed to be when the glass is broken? Good question. It's kind of like making lemonade out of lemons. But where are you going to put it if you got a broken glass? I don't know. But I see Beer Baron back on. This is great. This is great. So I'll get Beer Baron back on. Your microphone's not connected, so I'm going to... You relog in. See, we can't do tech checks on live air. No, your microphone, it's coming out of your computer speakers. That's yours. So why don't you relog back in, Beer Baron? See, now we're doing tech checks on live air, and we'll get them back in. We'll get them back in. No, I promise. But I want to get your predictions right now. Get your predictions right now in the YouTube Live, in the Instagram Live, on Facebook Live, and on X. I got to learn how to read comments on X. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. You're gonna love my prediction. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna love Beer Baron's prediction as well. But I'll tell you, this New Jersey Devils team has been resilient so far with all the amount of injuries they have. I know it's Jack Hughes, but do they have enough? One pillar of the core four is down. Will the other three pillars please stand up and take over? Think about it. Tell Beer Baron to relog back in. I lost him. Oh, no. Well, get your predictions in the chat room right now. Also, don't forget, and I'll remind you on Devils After Dark, Operation Filibuster. Yeah, it's still not working.
Oh my God.
Are you on a Mac?
Yeah.
Then check the sound settings. You go to settings, sound, make sure output, input is the same card, all that, and then relog back in. We'll get back to you, but think of your predictions.
I did all that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to reteach you how to, do this stuff, Beer Baron. You may want to go to the advanced site, by the way. That's my clue to you. The advanced, .com, Anyway, let's see here. We got Mike Rossi. 2-1 Devils. Eddie, OT9SP, 2-1 Devils in a defensive battle. Eddie, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button at Let's Go Devils on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go Devils Pod, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch at Let's Go Devils Podcast. Somehow, Beer Baron's going to give me the thumbs up when he's got this figured out, because I got him on the Andy Green room right now trying to figure it out. Also, let's see here. Some of these scores. Let's see. 2-1 Eddie. Max says 4-2 gritty game Devils. Mike Rossi says 2-1 Devils. I may have said that before. Ted says 5-2 Devils. So it seems like everybody's a little optimistic right now. Optimistic. Now, Beer Baron, if you just... I love this guy. I'll tell you. All he has to do is look at his text, and then he'll have that number. It's just scroll up. But I'll give it to you anyway on live air. I'll give it to you anywhere on live air. Oh, yeah, he couldn't log back in. So, oh, Beer Baron. The little helper here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Okay, Evan NJ8326 says 3-2 Devils. Pull together, boys. Play hard and don't get hit by an OV slapper. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. Devils 4-3 in OT. Grits with the game-winning goals. Devil down under from Australia. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Positivity, folks. I'm feeling the positivity. Feel the positive vibes. Feel the energy. The universe is telling you, feel the positive vibes of this New Jersey Devils team. That's right. That's right. All right, so let's see. A 12-4-1 team, no less. It's like the boy says, 3-1 Devils. Everyone's got to step up. You know it. All right, also scrolling here, trying to get to all these scores, but everything is just Michael Hay says the Devils win another OT 3-2. Luke gets his first goal as the winner. I love the positivity, folks. I'm loving the positivity. I'm feeling the energy. Just feel the flow. Devils Heaven 77. Devs 4-3 OT. Timo Meyer on fire. OT winner, baby. Feeling the positivity. It's contagious. Corbin B. Devil. What are you going to say? Prediction. 6-3 Devils. Feeling the positivity. Feeling the positivity. Beer Baron, when you're doing this tech stuff, feel the positivity. There you go. Give me a smile. Just give me a smile. Give me a smile. All right. I don't care if it works or not, but we're just getting all these.
Dude.
It doesn't work.
What in the world? I'm going to break. I hate technology. I'm going to break my computer. It makes us look. Listen, it makes us look amateur, and I hate that so much. I'm so angry right now.
Did Nikki look at it yet?
Oh my God! I'm about to go on an Arizona type rant right now, dude. I am about to lose my mind.
Did something get unplugged?
No. You know what's weird is like the power flickered for a second, and I don't know if you could see it, but like I look up and I'm like, that was weird, and then all of a sudden like I'm in mid thought about how this is going to transaction, like, oh, the Devils should go blah blah blah, and all of a sudden I turn my head, I look back, and I'm like, why am I frozen? And the words that I said, that I'm glad that the microphone was up. I apologize to you. I apologize to everybody out there. Listen, we are very professional. We're a professional organization, and we can't help that when live happens. Like last week when I had I've been having issues, man.
You know what, Beer Baron? Just like the Jack Hughes incident, it could be worse, but we'll just laugh it off. But here's the good news. There's a group hug out there. Ted has a group hug out there because there's so much been positivity. Well, so far I've got everybody that, saying the Devils are going to win. Now, Evan says Sam had mic problems the other day. Did you replace a back cable? No, what happened was Nick Villano didn't like how I sounded, so I kept on adjusting. So it took me 3 days to readjust with the help of Scotty, readjust to the mic problem. that I had.
I will say this.
Your kids, your kids sound great.
The kids are having a great time. This is from day one, and I love like when people give us crap about it, and like you can give us crap, and you know what I'm gonna say to you is first of all, we're doing this live. We live real lives. I don't have a studio that's out in New York City or like somewhere fancy. I have children that I'm raising. We have friends that are over right now. They're playing in the other room. I have internet issues because I live out in the sticks and we have internet issues, and that's just life, man. That's life, baby. I have family members who are going insane and posting crazy things on the internet and doing wild things. And
you know what? It could be worse. It could be worse. We could have been at that. We could have been at that team dinner. It could have been one of us. You never know. But a lot of positivity. So I want you to get your prediction. I want to get your prediction for this game.
My prediction is the boys come out to play. I feel like I know like we're right against the gun right now at 6:30, but the boys come out to play and step up for Jack. I want to say it's going to be a 3-1 effort. The guys that you pointed to, because I was listening the whole time, Meyer, Bratt, Heischer, these guys that are like in desperate need to step up. Today is the type of game that they need to step up. I really feel like this is going to be a solid team effort. I feel like Sheldon Keefe is going to say, like, listen, you lost Jack, and guess what? And we move on. You're a team. You're not defined by one individual. And that is the definition of team sports, especially if you go back to the Lou Lamoriello days. He used to say the logo on the front is way more important than the name on the back. And if you can't step up and you can't take the role and you can't be the next man up, then you don't belong here. And then you throw a jar of jelly against the wall and you walk out. That's how I would.
That sounded great with the kids screaming in the background too.
Screaming in the back, yeah, I know.
Don't worry about it. I'm just busting your chops. That sounded great. But this coming from Amanda Stein. Thank you, Max. That Shane Lachance did the rookie lap, and also in net for your New Jersey Devils, Jake the Snake Allen. You'll be snake bitten, Ovi. That's right. So answer the question. What's your prediction tonight?
Oh, I said 3-1.
Oh, 3-1? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry. Have a little
rambling? Yeah, when there's a circus going on in the next room. Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to listen in what the kids were saying instead of your prediction. All right, so here's my prediction. Jake the Snake Allen shuts the door.
Ooh.
3-0 Devils.
Ooh, I love it. Ooh,
3-0 Devils.
That's like a more realistic Sam Wu kind of prediction, too.
Well, I was going to say 9-0, but with Jack Hughes out, I figured to shave off 6 goals.
Yeah, probably be a best bet.
But Jake the Snake out there, that's your best bet. All right, well, we are going to get out of here. So just a reminder.
Oh, real quick.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. Jesper Bratt wearing the A because Jack is out of the lineup. Thank you, Max, for pointing that out. But go on. Sorry.
All right. So, just a reminder, Operation Filibuster. When we flood WFAN with calls, will be 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. tomorrow, early Sunday morning. We have fans that are going to flood the airwaves and monopolize that hour, Beer Baron.
Okay.
Can you believe that? So I'll have more details on Devils After Dark, and also the live stream for the Morning Woo will go on from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. with all the information you need to flood WFAN and all that. Suki says 4-2 Caps. They've owned us the last 8 years. Insane. AJ Visco says 2-0 Devils. So, well,
let's go. Nico's due to have a big game. He's been on a doorstep the last couple of games. He is due. Luke is going to have a big game tonight. Luke is going to have a big game for his brother. He's going to have a big game. Luke is going to pot 2. Luke's going to put up 2. Don't forget the last time I had that kind of feeling. That's when Simone Nemec put up a Hattie. So Just saying. Nico and Luke tonight.
I trust your instincts, Beer Baron. I just don't trust your microphone at the moment.
Or my internet.
Internet. All right. Well, enough busting your chops. Thank you for all those tuning in. Dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes on all of our podcast pages, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Prime, Audible, and on the iHeart app. We'll be back for Devils After Dark immediately after the game with Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal, and I will recap the game that was. And Max is telling me to stay live until the lineups come out. I don't think we can. We're playing the song right now, unfortunately. All right. Till next time, let's go Devils.